Hey YouTube, alright, sorry about the noise in the background, but that's the bathroom fan that I don't want to disconnect, and I want to get some good lighting. This is a Kohler toilet, and inside the tank you can see what they call a canister. It's a canister type valve system in here. And what's very common in these toilets, like all toilets, is after a while, let me try to zoom in here a little bit. I don't know if I can zoom in. Down at the bottom, it's very hard to see. Down at the bottom of this canister, there's a little pink line. Let's see, let me get right in front of my finger down there. That little pink thing, that is the gasket that goes on the bottom of the canister that seals the opening in the tank for the water to drain down. And see if I can zoom in. You can't really, yeah, you can see, I'm zoomed in on the pink. You can see that the pink material is starting to come apart a little bit, and that's causing this tank to leak. You wouldn't be at this video right now if you didn't know what I'm talking about. And so what ends up happening is, let me just try to simulate this a little bit. It just did it before I did the video, because the water leaks. So let me raise this canister up a little bit. Okay, you can probably hear it right now. The water leaks, and then the tank has to fill up again. And so you waste an incredible amount of water. And this just goes on all day and all night long. So when the tank fills up, of course, this little float goes up to the top. And yeah, you don't want your water to go into that little hole and flood your place, but the tank this valve goes up to the top, and the water shuts off. So normally what you would do is you would shut off your water intake valve, and then you would go and remove this canister. And I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. I'm going to edit this together. You'd remove the canister, and then you would replace the gasket that's on the bottom. Now, this has a red pinkish type gasket. The newer gaskets are yellow. You can buy some of the red gaskets on the internet. You don't want to get the red gasket. You want to buy the yellow gasket, which is made of new material. Should last a little bit longer. It's able to avoid the chemical damage that some chemicals might do in the toilet tank to ruin the rubber. So don't buy the pinkish or reddish. You want to buy the yellow. I've taken some photographs, zoomed in on the package, and I'll put that in the video for you. You'll probably see that in a minute. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to shut off the water. I could shut off the water, but there's really no reason to shut off the water. So what I'm going to do is, because all you do is you shut off the water, and then you go and you remove this canister, and then you put your new washer on there, and then you close the thing up. So rather than screw with the valve, which I don't want to do, I shouldn't have any leak problems, but I don't even want to deal with that. Mainly, all you're really doing is you're controlling this valve over here. And let me show you. I'll flush the toilet now. When the toilet flushes, if I raise this up, the water shuts off. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a shoelace, little piece of string, very carefully. I'm going to tie it around here, and I'm going to raise it all the way up to this towel rod over here to stop the water from running. And I'm going to have a wrench here just in case I need to shut off the valve, but I would rather not have to screw with that. And so I'll show you in a minute how this whole procedure goes, and you should be able to fix this problem for yourself for about $6.50, $6, $7, $7.25, something like that. So I'll be back in a minute to continue the video. Okay, back with more video. What you see over here is I've got a piece of shoelace, long string, whatever you want to use. Let me get the other light on here. Sorry about the noise again. There we go, more light. So you see that I tied the shoelace around the valve, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hold on to this string. I'm going to flush this toilet. The valve is going to go down. Okay, let's see. The valve is going to go down. I'm going to raise it up. Now I'm going to have to shut off the camera so I can tie this string to the post, and then I'll come back. Alright, the power of editing. It's awesome. Okay, you can see I tied the string over there. I know a lot of people aren't going to want to hassle with this. They'll either shut off the valve down under the toilet, or you might shut off the house water. Who knows? To me, this is a lot easier. I just don't want to make things more complicated than I need to. Since I have people living below me, I don't want to have to worry about shutting off the water valve and flooding the place. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up this canister to drain the tank. You don't really need to drain it that much, but you don't need to drain it at all, actually. And then what I'm going to do is, yeah, you can see that pink pink washer down there. Alright, so what you do is you grab, be careful with this hose. Since I don't have the water 100% shut off, you got to make sure this thing water doesn't come on and flood your place. So what you do is you put your hand on this shaft over here, grasp the shaft with your hand. I'm right-handed. I should be doing this with my right hand. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me wipe my hand off on my pants over here. Nice and sanitary there. I'll hold the camera with my left hand, and you grab this thing with your right hand, and you turn. Oh, it doesn't want to turn. You want to, okay, that was not easy to turn, but you want to turn this shaft counterclockwise. Oh, there it goes, counterclockwise. You got to hear it. You saw I was struggling. Not struggling, I was careful so I didn't break it, but I was struggling so that I could turn it, and you heard it snap, pop a little bit. You turn that thing a quarter turn. Now it doesn't want to come out. Oh, that's right. What am I doing? I forgot. Let me go back. I'm going to have to wash my hands in a minute. What you've got to do also, there's a chain over here. A chain that hooks onto... Well, maybe you don't have to. Do I have to screw with that? Let me see if I have to screw with that or not. Okay. I guess I didn't have to. There's a chain that hooks on there. It might be easier to take the chain off, but... so far I haven't, and maybe I don't need to. Let me turn this upside down so you can see what we're doing here. The less you have to screw with something, the better. So I'm going to turn this upside down, and there it is, the washer that's causing problems. Okay, I want to zoom in here. Let me get the light out of the way. Well, let's see. You see over there? You see the, oh, we're still not getting the light that I want. Look over here. I'm going to zoom in so that you can get a better picture. Yeah, that's probably going to show up on the... Okay, you can see how it's got a straight line going that way. That is, I'm going to turn this upside down in a minute, and you can see the piece on the bottom of this shaft goes into this slot. So it's kind of like, let's turn this upside down so you can see it now. Okay, you can see it over there. You see? That piece goes into that opening, and then you turn it. So you want to turn left or counterclockwise, maybe a quarter of a turn, probably a quarter of a turn, an eighth of a turn or something. When we put this back in, sorry about the camera flipping out all over the place. This slot will go, this piece will go back into that slot and lock in place. Okay, so I'm going to shut this off now. Let me take off the washer while we're at it. Sorry, the video's not the greatest, all being done with one hand. Other videos show disconnect the chain over here, shut off the water, a lot of hassle, a lot of problems. Why cause yourself more aggravation when you don't need to? Okay, so that is the washer that's coming off now. Very simple procedure. That's the washer that's coming off. You can see the groove is on the bottom. I just turned it upside down. Okay, so now I'm going to go get the new washer, and we're going to install that in a second. And then we will have saved about $75 to $100 in plumbing for plumber fees. Alright, here we are again. You can see the washer that I just took off. That's where the water is leaking. The water is leaking because this piece is torn, and so the water is running through that little gaposis over there. So this is why you replace it. It's a flat washer. I thought there were grooves in it. There are not. It's a flat washer. Fairly thick. Cheap. Made to wear out. And here's the new washer. Same size, a little smaller, not stretched out. And that's the washer. I took photographs of the package. I'm gonna, as I said, I'm gonna include that in the video. Okay, so back over to the toilet now. So we've got this thing undone. And what you're gonna do is you're going to, you can see how, let's get the light over there. You can see how this is grooved over here. This washer is just going to go over this top piece, and it's going to rest in this groove. It's going to rest over here. So I'm going to shut off the video and put it on so you can see how it looks. Well, that took about 10 seconds to put on. Gently guide it around the smaller centerpiece. There's the groove over there. Make sure that the washer's seating in the groove between the top and the bottom piece over here. And that's it. That's the repair. So there's no little gap over here like on the other one, so the water should not be running around. And that should solve the water leak. So what I'm going to do now, sorry about the camera jumping around. I'm going to be buying a new video camera so I can make these videos a little better. I wanted to put this on a tripod, but you really can't get a tripod into a bathroom that has no space. Okay, so I'm going to turn this thing upside down. Let's see, you can see how, what I was talking about. The washer is completely in the gap. Nicely seated all around. So I'm going to turn this back around the way it was originally. And get that seated. Turn it until that little piece goes back into the slot. It should be an easy thing to do, but you're kind of going blind with this, just doing it as a feel. Feeling around, trying to get it to line up. So, I need two hands to do this. I'm going to shut off the vid and get this thing positioned, and then we'll continue. Alright. You can see I'm moving my finger up and getting my hands up and down, the fingers up and down. That little piece is now in the slot. I positioned took two hands just to get it lined up. Be gentle. You don't want to jam, you don't want to break things, because then you've got a screwed up toilet. You have to replace the piece in the tank. You can see that round, or the center post is now inside the little slot that I showed you earlier. So this outer canister is seated down. You can see the washer, hopefully. I'll show that to you in a minute. The washer is seated. So this thing is pressed down, and now I'm going to turn it a quarter turn clockwise. Clockwise. Did it lock? Yeah, really cheap design. Very cheap design. Okay, it's locked. It's totally locked in place. Just making sure. Don't want to have a flood here. Okay, I'm going to take the little rubber hose and I'm going to put it back in here where it was before. You'll notice, like I said originally, I did not remove the chain. I didn't shut off the water. I'm just trying to make life as easy as possible for me. So now I'm going to, let's zoom out. Now I'm going to untie this shoelace. Used shoelace, don't worry, I won't be using this poopy shoelace on any shoes. And we're going to fill the tank up and see what happens here. Hopefully this works. standing by, making sure I don't have to shut that valve off with my hand to stop it from flooding in that drain hole at the top. So the toilet's filling. I like to do my videos. I know some videos do this stuff in like a minute or two and then we'll let you do it on your own. I like to make my videos in detail. You get to see what I was going through, the problems I went through with the, definitely a tight fit when you turn that thing counterclockwise. The hose is raising up, but it's not going to flood the room yet. So be careful when you're turning it counterclockwise to remove the center post. Be careful putting the center post back in that little slot. Line it up properly. Okay, so far everything's doing good. The water is getting towards the little drain hole. Hose is still up in the air. It should shut off any second now, and then the hose should drop back into the center canister. And if it doesn't, I'm going to have to shut off the valve over here. I don't like this. It works. There you go. Alright, so you just saw me fix my leaking toilet for cost $1.60. I mean, $1.60, $6.90 at Home Depot to buy the thing. You can buy some of these washers on Amazon. There's only one place on Amazon that sells it, and they display the red washer. The red washer that is, in my opinion, and comments I've read on the internet, not as good. The toilet does not. Let me shut off this. I won't know for like an hour, but okay, let's zoom in. You can see the yellow washer down there doing its job, sealing that that opening over there. So that's really all I was doing, replacing that washer. Be careful when you put it on the center post. And as I said, I made photographs, but this is the this is what I ended up putting on there. It's being shined out with the light in the room, and hopefully you enjoyed the video and it saves you some money. I was going to do the job on my own, and I thought, no, I really don't want to shut off the water. I was going to have the maintenance guy over here do it, and that was $75, and I thought, you know, I'm not an idiot. This is not the hardest job in the world. I'm not going to flood the place. So for about $7.25 with tax or something. Yep, a lot of tax. I live in California. I changed the washer myself. So that's it. Hopefully this saves everybody money, and this was a good video for all of you.